This conference will now be recorded.
Vaccination today.
Green light. Somebody's gonna get truck call. That means. The one that said you that. That one, yeah, it looks like there's money there.
That's one thing I can figure out, what is, I wish people, like, something I would like to see that is down free. I would really like to see that wall fit down here. I think that's gonna be a lot of money. And I think the person will all like to want to try to help them do that. Because that one, if they don't keep it, even if they just do stuff. Well, no, they still have one. And that'll be. Yeah, it's we have this question in the cemetery. Happens down in the roof, that, the kiosk. That's hard to do. Are you wet? Oh, yeah. How are you? Good. Someone called you.
Ready?
I don't have anything. You want to fix my thing? Oh, I got fixed it. I didn't. So sorry.
What are you ready? I'll make just the sound. I don't know, depends on the trucks too. With the rain, with the rain is background noise, it may, so I'm gonna make sure. Gotta look at home. Roll, roll. Because of the rain, you won't.
We have to turn it on.
No, if you want to vote and stuff.
Is it on?
It's just one second. There it is. That's all.
Well, is everybody else on? See, there's no indicator light, so I don't know when I'm.
It's on the map. See little red.
Oh, yours doesn't even turn on this side, this one.
Oh, that's true.
One of them is,
This one.
yeah.
Okay.
There it
No.
is.
I'm gonna do this so people.
Well, let me know when we're ready. All right, we will go ahead and call this meeting to order, 5:45. Roll call tonight. We have present Hollis Boatwright, Wendy Cambridge, Pam Capps, Roxanne Sorrell. We do not have Jim Bunty or Pamela Neighbors. And we have our HPO present. So we do have a quorum this evening because we have Pam, Hollis, and Wendy. So thank you all for being here. Welcome to the meeting. We thought we might have somebody signed up to speak tonight, but I don't, do you see anybody here, Rudy, that has signed up to speak?
She's not here. Candy, she's not here.
Okay. All right. So no speakers tonight. Hopefully you all have had time to review the agenda so we can go ahead and approve that. And is it okay with everybody if we just go in order?
Yes.
Okay. All right. First item under consider, discuss, and take appropriate action. Consideration of the May 17th minutes. Did we send those around? Did anybody have time to look at those? It's been a while. Jim did the minutes. I read them. If,
I read them. I can make a motion to approve them.
okay,
It won't come up.
Keep your finger on it for a minute.
it's on.
Okay.
All right, so Hollis Boatwright motions to approve the minutes from May 17th. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Wendy seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Majority approves.
Thanks, Will.
We were going to have a gateway sign update from Jim, but he is not here. I don't know if we need to motion to table that if the person isn't here, or do we need to motion to table that?
I make a motion to table the gateway sign discussion till next meeting.
All right, do we have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We also have the website update, and that was also Jim. I know that he got historicblanco.com. I know that Rudy thought that there might be an issue with that because it's not .org. Did you have any comments on that?
No, Carolyn just wanted to voice that it's okay, but they have .org. Well, you guys will have .com. Some visitors may get confused and not find it.
Is the old site .org
For the
for the book?
building across the street. It's the same thing, other than the .org and .com.
Oh, the same name.
Same name.
So for the chamber or for the?
The old Blanco Courthouse.
Right.
It's not Old Blanco Courthouse?
No, their
.org?
website is, and I looked it up, it's, what did it say there? Historicblanco.org, it's theirs. And you guys will be historicblanco.com. Same thing, just the last part.
Should ask him if he can get a .tx
Gov.
or gov however that works, TH.gov, TH.gov, it's mixed in there somehow, I can't remember how it works.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll
But
make
is
a note
she
to
having a
inquire.
problem with us having the same name as?
No. It's just visitors that will go look, might
Ah.
never find us. Listen, man, the courthouse keeps coming up, the old courthouse.
Oh,
Because that can happen. It happens in business all the time. You're looking for a website, kids, they get porn or something else.
okay.
You know, what happened here? You know, 'cause it's-
Well, I'm glad we have the .com one then.
Yeah.
Because that happened with the Southwest Texas website when I was a student there, and it went to,
happens all the
and it
time.
went to, there was the .edu, but the southwesttexas.com one went to something else.
It could be a gov, right? G-O-V.
But the city doesn't have .gov, do they?
Not yet. Fully intention.
There's Candy.
Here's Candy.
To have it moved to a .gov, yes.
Okay,
But it's currently,
because we would need the city's credentials to get a .gov. I think that you have to prove something.
that's where Jim
Okay,
knows more about that.
okay.
We left building things with our hands and doing things with computers, now there's a big gap.
Update on BHPC Facebook page. I update it occasionally. Jim has your giant file,
Yeah,
and he told me that it took quite a while to download into Dropbox, so he wants to give me a stick. So I've got to
that's
figure
what
out,
I gave him. I gave him the stick.
well, and
with
I've
all
got to
the
figure out what I
pictures
can put that in, because my main computer is for work and I can't plug anything into it because I work for a company that has nuclear energy assets. So it's a security concern. So we're gonna figure this out, but
in.
I have some stuff to work with.
Okay.
And anybody that wants to send me
Yeah,
small files to work with,
that's
I'm
okay.
trying to just post something interesting at least once a week.
Yeah, because I just put everything on that one stick and sent it to him.
Excuse me, I want to tell y'all I'm responsible for the rain.
Well, thank you.
So you're the one who washed your car today.
Good to see it.
How are you? Good. Do we want to finish our action items or how? Let's go ahead and go on to number 6 for now. So invoice from the HPO for the 4 cut slits for all 4 fabrics. This is for the banners.
Mhm.
Total of $57 with fuel cost of 2 hours or 105 miles round trip. So we're gonna approve paying this?
I hope so.
Okay. Can we have a motion to reimburse the HPO for $57 for the signs?
I make a motion to reimburse the HBO for the banner signs for $57.
All right, do we have a second?
Second it.
All right, Wendy seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, passes. So Rudy gets reimbursed.
Thank you.
Number 7, we have a grants discussion. I forwarded to everybody what Wendy put together regarding grants. I don't know if we want to talk about anything specific tonight, but a lot of these are things that we need to make sure we're planning to apply for the year ahead, because some of them require matching funds, some of them are bigger ticket items. So we all need to review those and decide what is worth working on. And also, if something requires matching funds, we need to make sure that the city has an appetite to match.
I think we should get our list of goals from the workshop that we had.
Mhm.
And then maybe at next meeting, we can go over those and decide what we want to apply for.
What fits in line with
Yes.
those goals?
Mhm.
Okay. Item number 8, discuss and determine the need for a COA when making significant changes to exterior paint colors in the historic district. This item has come up because we have some painting going on in the historic district that didn't have a COA application, and there were some concerns from the community.
Okay. So now they want to have a COA to paint your house? Everybody in the historic district? Is that what they're asking? Rudy? Is that what it is?
Rudy, what have you heard?
It's not, well, I have my part at the end. It's kind of like the same stuff. Let me read this here. The local UDC does not call out for color guidelines. We talked about this back in January 2019, when I had asked the Texas Historic Commission, the CGL trainer, and she says, do not get one. That's all she said. But the discussion was to have muted colors, not deep, bright, off colors. That was the discussion from the commissioners. I was the HPO, that was my very first month there. But presently, Blanco does not have a color regulation. There are some cities, very few. And according to the Secretary of Interior, it's real hard to regulate colors.
It is hard to regulate. That's why we discussed it
Yeah.
in length.
Yeah,
I
you
believe a
cannot
couple of years
regulate.
ago.
Yeah. No one regulates it. There's only some cities. Gatesville, thought I, got so much paperwork. I had it here. Here it is. It's real interesting. The more you look into it, the more you learn.
I know we can suggest colors.
Blanco is known for this. If you drive around and look at the neighborhoods, actually all of the southern states, back in the day, your grandparents, all houses were white. You might have had black trim, red trim, maybe blue, maybe green, but it was all in the white colors for a reason. And there's couple of towns in Texas, but they don't go as far as regulating or pull the COA unless there's a drastic change. And if you look at the COA, there is a checkoff where you're going to check off painting. Okay, so is it a requirement? Not at this time.
Okay, so they can paint the railings of the courthouse hot pink?
Building turquoise.
Yeah, like that lady in San Antonio. Remember that one?
So they can do that, and so do we need to consider, well, you discussed it at length in the past.
Yeah, in the past, we discussed it at length that we cannot regulate colors. We can suggest colors like the beiges and everything that goes with the town. Huh?
We used to approve it.
Oh, you did?
Yes, ma'am. When I was chair.
Okay.
Red was on the committee too.
And how did you do that?
We approved in the historic district. They would bring us the color and we would say yes or no. It was easy.
Remember Strickland's is one of them.
Yeah, I mean, it was because they would bring some horrendous colors. And I'm sorry, I'm way out of order, but that just kind of, my jaw dropped.
Well, I just want to know, how can we do that if it's not in our UDC? How can you do
We had
that?
an ordinance. We had a historical ordinance that I gave to every property owner, so they would know what they could and could not do, and what they needed to come to us for.
Is it still in existence?
That was the new one. Because when I left the chair, I went around and had every property owner sign for it. I gave it to them and I had them sign for it, because I didn't want them to come back and go, well, I didn't know.
Well, is that still in effect? Retta, do you know?
I assume so.
Yeah, yes.
Well, you were chair when we discussed all these colors,
Well, we
remember?
also discussed one of the things that we can do for the commission is to have a range of colors. and I brought the palette back there.
Yes.
And I said, there's a section in there, historic colors, and that we need to identify it. It was just a matter of policy that they came and did.
Well, if there's something already in existence, I guess we need to,
When they made that orange, remember that was, when they,
okay. Well, so you think we already have an ordinance that says that, is what you're telling me?
I don't know if it's an applied part in there or an understood part or however you want to say it, but it was.
This is what's written. Let me read it, okay? Then y'all can digest this.
Okay.
UDC 4, section 4.11, that's historic preservation. Historic district regulations, ordinary maintenance. Number 1, nothing in this ordinance shall be construed to prevent ordinary maintenance and repair of any exterior architectural feature of a landmark or property within the historic district which does not involve a change in design, material, or outward appearance. In-kind replacement or repair is included in this definition of ordinary maintenance. So let me take my part and y'all pick it up. If you have white and you go back with a muted white color, we're okay. But if it changes to a drastic color, changes everything. That's the way I interpret it. I'll leave that to you guys. You want to? Let me circle it.
On the building that Andy was talking about, when Linda Howard was chair, they started painting that and she went over and made them stop until they got a permit.
Where was this? Where was this?
The building that she's talking about, Linda Howard was chair, and they started painting, when the Strands bought it, they started painting it, and she went over and they had to come get a COA.
Does it say anything specific?
Yeah.
Anything specific about color in BHPC?
Well, I would say that color definitely affects the outward appearance, but I don't know.
It's supposed to be a muted, historic color. It doesn't say pink, green, or what, but a muted historic color.
And I don't even remember that we said muted, we just, it was wanted to stay with the.
Change in design.
Because we remember Janet Fisher had, the buildings on the squares painted, pink or lavender at one time when she had the gallery there. But that was before we had the ordinance.
Well, we have lavender trim on the square right now anyway. And we have a Craftsman house in the historic district that has white trim, which I don't believe would be historically correct for that particular time. We have the theater, they painted, they're painting right now. I mean, so we need to figure, they painted the architectural elements on the old theater. First they were green and then they were blue, or maybe vice versa. And I know they didn't get a COA. So if we're gonna try to regulate paint, we need to have it in an ordinance, and it needs to be really clear, and it needs to be enforced across the board. Not just because something caught somebody's eye and we don't like it. It would either get the COA or they don't. So we need to figure this out. Is there an existing ordinance or not? We need to know.
I guess we'd have to research that and find out. Because if it was just an implied ordinance.
If it was just implied, because the old art center has different colored doors on every single door, we know that's not correct.
Yeah.
If the trim is white, that's not correct for this. We have other various Craftsman style houses that would not have had all that white trim, and we know that.
May I recommend that we, by next meeting, have a committee put together of the commissioners or whoever to decide what it is we want to do and come up with an ordinance that we can then forward?
Do you want to make a motion?
Yes, but I'm dead.
Oh,
So you go ahead.
Just for the record, I'm aware of a ordinance that has anything to do with color.
Okay.
Paint colors at this time, and if we are going to do an ordinance, that's perfectly fine, but it needs to be talked about several times is the design guideline for the square. And this can, but it needs to be, we can follow the design guidelines, because it's gotta be reinforced, be enforceable, to be reinforced with an ordinance. And it really needs to be a little bit more comprehensive.
Design guidelines are guidelines in the historic district. And that's probably, that may be what we use.
Is there something in the design guidelines that say anything about color?
Do you?
No, there's not.
There's not.
I only put the UDC for painting. I didn't see anything on the design guidelines.
I imagine it says historic colors.
Well, again, since the chairperson just said there should be a committee, they can look into the design guidelines. Maybe get some neighbors getting on that committee.
I know, I don't remember ever having this situation to chair
Yeah.
come up.
I know we discussed it one
We
time with,
discussed it a lot of times, that we needed to identify the colors, and I have that.
yeah, you had the palette and they were,
Take those colors, and then you get it in your ordinance, you get it in there, that there's certain colors that you can do.
just the certain colors.
Well, either that or
Well,
white.
And the colors would depend on the vintage of the building also.
Yeah.
That's where I was gonna go with that. So you gotta be careful that, and if you wanna change it, just be aware of how you're gonna address it. In that, if in 1938, the courthouse was painted pink and purple, and that was the original color of it, then it becomes, is pink and purple allowed? You know, that's where we've gotta, you gotta be careful about what buildings may have been certain colors in their originality or at some point in their historical life. So that you can write the ordinance or the, whatever we're gonna call it, the ordinance to be accurate and enforceable. You don't wanna have somebody come in and say historical colors, and they come back to 1938, those doors were yellow, then by God, they're gonna be yellow, because they fit into historical accuracy.
Because Roxanne, you and I took a class of color analysis,
Mm-hmm.
and if they sand it down all the way down to 1839, and it was that color.
Then they should probably
you
be
still
allowed to paint it that color.
Well, obviously, those doors are not old doors, they're newer doors.
Yeah.
Regardless, if they were able to provide a picture from, or some historical documentation that said the doors were yellow, I'm just using them for example, I'm not
Yeah, using the
promoting, just saying, we've got, these are the devil's advocate traps, we've got to make sure we're not stepping into.
So am I hearing you say that we may want to steer clear from the word historical colors?
You want to go a little bit further, I'm not saying you steer clear from that, you want to get more in-depth definition beyond just historical colors.
That not being, you know,
I think it'll be really important to consider the wording, because historical colors can be,
Some examples from some other cities and other historical areas. You know, learn from other people's mistakes, just
yeah.
try to, yeah. So I know somebody I can call to that kind of may get some guy, hopefully get some guy.
Yeah, I'm sure we're not creating a brand new one here.
So, Red, are you looking for?
I have one more thing I can read on this. Candy, this is something you might want to hear. The Secretary Interior Historic Preservation Standards, not recommended. Says it has the following: radically changing the type of finish or its color or accent scheme so that the historic character of the exterior is diminished. So you don't want to do that. Stripping historically painted surfaces to bare wood, then applying clear finishes and stains in order to create a natural look. They say that's not recommended. Stripping paint or varnish to bare wood rather than repairing or reapplying a special finish. For instance, like the front door. So here, if this is historically white, strip it all off
I don't
and
think so.
varnish it. They don't recommend that. Also, they don't recommend changing colors. Okay, that is from the
Interesting.
Secretary Interior Historic Preservation Standards. And that's a big old book that,
I don't quite understand what you're saying, they don't,
They
I'm
don't
just reading
recommend having,
Not recommended radically changing the type of finish
Yeah.
or its color.
okay, so does that mean things could be white?
No, it doesn't
Or if
say
it was
that.
originally one color, don't change it.
Yeah, try to stay to it. yeah.
So we don't, there'll be.
Don't change it historically.
That's
Okay.
the standards
But
that
this building they're talking about
all cities
is
follow.
in the historic district, but it's not.
You need this back?
No, you can have it.
I don't think it's a contributing building.
The website is there
I
too.
mean, so do we still have control of it?
I think if it's in the district,
We do.
we do, but it's not. I don't know that it's contributing.
Okay.
All right,
But
so,
the point, I'm going to back up what I heard from Candy a while ago. The point that Blanco's known the way it is right now, and then somebody comes in and paint all the buildings purple with black, just wicked looking stuff. That should
Yeah,
not happen. That's
that
what they're
should not
trying to
happen.
avoid.
That should not happen.
That should not happen. That, I think that's the main thing that, Retta, do you want to step up? Retta, do you want to step up to the mic?
did you find it?
Did you find it?
Retta,
Retta?
the microphone. right there.
The existing, this is preservation. The existing conditions of historic features will be evaluated to determine the appropriate level of intervention needed. Where the severity of deterioration requires repair or limited replacement of a distinctive feature, the new material will match the old in composition, design, color, and texture.
That's what it says on the UDC. It's on the UDC also.
Or it doesn't match the color. The old,
Yes, it's design, color, and.
yeah.
But if
Is that in, what is that in?
That's in the design guidelines.
Design guidelines?
So if on the COA, there is a box you can check for paint, that's saying something right there.
Yeah.
Where was it, Retta?
That was in the maintenance of that.
When I painted my, for 13, I went and I got it approved.
If there's a check mark.
On the COA, yeah, we just asked for the color of it.
So they should be applying for a COA for painting?
Well,
Yeah.
If they're changing the color?
It's already on there.
Yeah, but they still, I mean, you know, there's other things in the historic district that we've been working on moving or changing that haven't been done yet. And just because it's already been done doesn't exclude them from following the rules.
Yeah.
And we can still, you know, approach them like Rudy has done. And they seem amenable to changing it back.
They didn't understand that they had to.
Get a COA.
Yeah, they had done their research on their own.
I did it about a year ago.
And it was
I made it.
hard to find things because there were so many things in black and white. And I was just asking, did you know that you had to? Because I still thought that you had to get, I've been agonizing for over a year trying to figure out what color to paint my building. And every time I would come up with a color, I would go, oh no, that would be approved. And
Mhm.
I mean, so I knew that in my head. I mean, I just knew it because I wanted it to look nice.
Yeah.
And then I knew that the committee had to approve it. I had to bring my paint sample up here for y'all to look at, to approve.
Okay, that's never happened since I've been here.
Yeah.
Just another sort is.
Yeah,
is
Since
even though
I-
that is- that
I've been
is
here about
a non-contributing building, it's
7
not-
years. Yeah,
But I don't think anybody's painted anything in the
Well-
historic district
Well,
either.
except for signs. It would be
Yeah.
the sign.
Well- The vintage cottage boutique went from a golden yellow to white.
Yeah.
Not since I've been on the commission, but since I've lived here, which is 5 years. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening. I don't know if you all approve that or not.
Never a COA, that's the question, was there a COA
There wasn't a COA for that, but they didn't do anything extraordinary. They just turned, it was probably white back in the day.
Yeah.
This yellow color that we're talking about is extraordinary.
Well, and when Linda Line and stuff that approved, that's what we didn't have COAs then. If they were historical building permits. And it was on, I mean, it was before the COA. It was just a historical building permit, we had a historical ordinance, and she showed it. She got those colors approved. I was not on the committee at that time.
We need to see if we can find that, yeah.
Roxanne.
So this requires more research.
Roxanne,
Yes.
this afternoon, Charles, the owner of the building, and his decorator, they asked me to come by.
Mm-hmm.
I did. And she definitely said that's the wrong color. We didn't have to tell her that, but she saw that. So she picked up,
That's the same little girl that told.
yeah, blonde, reddish hair, I forget. She has that nice looking yellow car. I think
He's the one that.
I know, I'll read your mind. So she picked a lighter color and they wanted me to pick a color from that says, I stay neutral, I won't pick a color. But they picked a lower, almost the same color as the building in 419.
They can pick it, but they really need to come back to the historic commission and
I told them, paint the back door that's not visible, then let us know when it's painted, and maybe you guys can go take a look.
I just remembered one that, you know, it comes back, this one right next door, and even the posts, we would, you know, color the posts on this.
There's one right next door.
Red, like the city building that's deep green, did
Yeah.
y'all approve of that?
That's,
I was on that.
You were a chairman, I was not here. They just did it on their own, right?
It's been a long time.
it's been green for a
Nathan-
while. It
Nathan
used to
was-
be white when I was a kid.
Yeah, I didn't get on until, you know, like six.
It was when Nathan was here.
Yeah, when Nathan was here, it was green.
So again, I'd like to recommend that we do research this next month and come back next month at a regular meeting.
Thank you, Candy.
You just have to go back and check the minutes on all this stuff because I don't remember. I do remember when, what's her name, that was married to, Trish bought this building and we,
oh, Cody.
yeah. And when she got this, we dealt with it then.
Okay.
Well, shouldn't we go and approach them? I mean, do we
Just
need to go and do that too and just say, look, Rudy came and talked to you, but the commission's wondering what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Until we find.
we do. I mean, Retta just read it. Seemed,
So,
oh, did you thought so? I mean, it
Yeah, yeah,
mentioned, specifically, it mentioned color, texture.
Well, and if the color is on the COA, that means that it's something that theoretically would need to be, right.
Needs to be approved.
No.
It's on the COA.
no, Pam, to answer your question, there's no charge for a COA. It's to give you guys opportunity, like I always say, the community at large. You guys are the spokesmen for the town. Then y'all can choose if that's the correct color based on what you have. There's no charge for that. Are they needing a building permit to pay? I don't think so. That's
I
just
wouldn't think-
maintenance.
No.
Well, I mean, in what, Retta, I can't find it. I don't know where, no. I mean, we
Okay,
closed
so
the book
this
you
is
gave
the
it to.
deal.
I can find
It costs nothing for a COA.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
that's-
Okay, so nothing. You don't have to pay for a COA?
Mm-mm.
I did not know that.
No. I would like to ask Candy a question.
Yes, yes, sir.
Candy, would you frown on paying a building permit to just repaint your building, even if you changed it?
No,
You shouldn't have to pay for one, should you?
in the historical district, I don't mind,
The cost.
I don't mind rules. I think the more rules, the better, and everyone is followed.
Because it's, the COA is free,
Okay,
and then it gets approved or denied with modifications.
okay.
But you feel you should get a building permit to paint the exterior?
No,
I thought I had in advance.
no. Not to
Like
paint,
pay
not
for
for
a
regular
permit?
maintenance.
As a builder nationwide, I painted all over Connecticut,
You don't have to get a
Virginia,
building permit.
Mesa, Arizona. When I worked for Levick's Furniture, we never, Yeah. that's another one. It's permit with zero cost.
Yeah,
So if anybody, did you get a permit? Here it is. Don't
Yeah.
pay anything. Yeah, but don't pay for it. Yeah.
I don't
But that's up
understand
to
what
the
you're
committee.
asking though.
But then you could drive by, I was going to, Rudy could drive by and there's see work being done and then not see a permit in the window. And go, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I did, but you didn't, yeah.
okay, now how are we gonna get this out to the community that
Well,
they're
first-
gonna have to have?
First, like Roxanne said, start a committee,
Yeah,
work through all the
like Wendy
details.
said.
Page
Wait,
10.
work through all the details. And then you have a public hearing.
And what I encourage
Page
you
10
to
F.
do is research other communities. Because there's something already out there that we can take from.
Yeah.
Let me get Will's input on this, okay?
We can-
Will, I've been a national contractor, 84 to 87 Levick's Furniture Stores, New Haven, Connecticut, Milford, Connecticut, by Yale University, Florida, Mesa, Arizona, Dallas, all over the place. Whenever we painted
What are the
exterior,
severity of the deterioration?
I was never asked to get a building permit for
Replacement of the-
painting. Correct.
Not a permit for paint,
So what,
unless, well, there are reasons why you
Well,
would,
but it was
that'd
the-
be for access,
It was the
things like that. But there will not be.
yeah, so it's never been required. Candy was asking if, other than a COA, just to get, which is free, approved with modifications or not approved, get a building permit and no charge just to hang it that you got a permit, only in the district,
The COA should be sufficient.
sufficient.
Yeah, I think it's something that looks like a building
It
permit.
it absolutely could be.
That'll stop,
Approved, got the authorization signature. And so on.
Will, because she had a valid question. I drive by and say, hey, they don't have a permit, but I gotta get one. And I understand what you're saying.
But we can make the certificates like we do for, we have
We're about to
certificate
be-
for a food
We're
truck.
about to be
That sounds good to me.
You have
with the new stuff.
The COA for.
I don't know. Yeah.
My suggestion would be,
Yeah.
we talked about it, if you arrange it in colors, like in that deal, and get it into, vote on it and get it into the,
We could just do that big palette and it's got a huge range of colors in there.
We got it ready. It's okay.
Well, and we can also consider what certain homeowners associations do, you know,
Yeah.
at Brushing Top, you can't have a red roof. You
Yeah.
know, so,
Yeah.
So-
But we're not.
I know.
HOA.
I know,
Yeah.
but, you know,
But
If-
the historic districts in some communities are as strict as the HOA. That's the, we don't want to be.
No.
That,
no,
but this is, you know, a different situation.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, they're open to talking with the historic commission
Yeah.
and changing that.
They are.
And
open to
says
making
historical
changes.
colors
That's the main
or
key.
historic
We're not
colors.
having to have to add
see
on.
that through by
But we
sections.
do need to prepare for that could happen.
Right.
Down.
If we get something, definitive in place, then we wouldn't have to worry about that.
Pam, but that yellow of those doors is on that color palettes there, Pam,
Huh?
right there.
It's on these color palettes?
That yellow door's in there.
Well, I mean, but we can vote on it, you know, anything, and then we just look at it.
Is that the historic?
No.
no.
Okay,
No, it's just a color palette. She said there was
We
a
didn't do anything.
one.
But
Okay.
there's a historic
We just
section
looked
at
at
the
it.
end.
Third section.
Yeah, at
That's
the
what I was
very
trying
end.
to find, the historic
But
section.
again, historic in, you know, the Northeast is different from
Historic
colors in
here.
the South.
Yeah, you know that from,
Like El Paso or any other municipality.
Well, let's find out what other historic commissions do. Like I said, we can contact somebody else.
Yeah, okay, so what Wendy said was, let's review this further and figure out how to implement this wording in
Come up with standards.
design guidelines, and then we would present it to city council.
Yeah,
If it's gonna be an ordinance, it needs to be.
they have to approve it.
But, well.
I think it's from the water colors.
It's towards the back.
Okay, who
The
wants
very
to,
last-
who wants to work on this? I'm writing it down. Wendy wants to work on it.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of.
Hollis does not?
I can't.
Pam, do you want to work on it?
At this time.
Anybody from the community interested?
Candy? Candy's up. with
Okay.
Wendy.
I was gonna do it myself before I-
All right. So I've got Wendy Cambridge, Pam Capps, and Candy Cargill interested in working on fine tuning color guidelines and researching. Yes, Will?
In the meantime, we should ask the Charles owner to make some concessions in the meantime until a COA is approved. He still needs to file for a COA. We still need to come up with a way how we're gonna address it in the future. But we do need to ask them to come up with a color, even if it's a temporary concession for the doors, primarily for the two front doors that are visible. The back door is not visible. We could live with that until a COA is approved, but they need to come up with something that is, and the commission needs to direct that to be done, to find something until a COA is approved. A concession color, whether it be white, whether it be tan,
Beige, neutral.
or earth tone.
And how do we go about recommending that?
I would suggest that there be a motion for some action and, whether Rudy or myself want to go and visit with them tomorrow.
I make a motion that occur, that there be some interaction at this time on that
For temporary
specific.
concession until COA is approved.
Right.
I'll take it.
Do we
A
have
temporary-
a motion to second
I
the,
second it.
okay,
I'm not
what,
sure.
okay, we are
either.
doing asking them to
Temporary
temporarily,
concession.
temporarily do a more neutral or understated earth tone
Color.
until the COA
COA
has
is
approved
approved.
their final color.
Yes.
Wendy's asking for, it's the doors, Wendy, the yellow. Oh, you haven't seen it?
No,
I haven't seen it either.
She doesn't know where.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Make right by the bank and look to the left.
Behind the Honda Bank.
It's Ken Schramm's place.
Go look at the
That's
door.
All in
Chiropractor.
favor of
Aye.
having Rudy okay, yes, Rudy's gonna contact them and ask them to tone the color down and apply for a COA.
Yes.
All right, this is past
Do you
unanimous.
see the way?
No, he has one already.
All right,
Mhm.
onward. We can move on to HPO report and COA, discuss and take appropriate action. Item number 1, West End Co-Curator of Home Goods for 160 by 60, 25 square foot business sign. So they already put it up. Rudy sent an explanation about how they might still be required to have a COA because they put up the sign before our deadline for approval. And would you like to explain this? They put it so that the time clock needs to restart because they never got it approved. If we had gone too long, it would have passed anyway because we ran out of time, but we didn't run out of time. They had the sign up before our special meeting that didn't actually happen a couple of weeks ago. But we had until at least the end of that week to approve their application.
I think they put it up because it was Lavender Fest and all the people were coming into town and they wanted it.
That's part of it, but there's another answer.
Okay. What's the other
All right.
answer?
The other answer, to make it brief, when they got the COA, they also got the building permit. So when she got the building permit, because her husband's a contractor and pulls permits, that means we got one, we paid, go. It was a misunderstanding.
There was a permit issued
Mhm.
with, and it's got the permit number on it.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's not just a copy of it.
Reason was, and those will probably happen one out of a million, so it's not gonna happen all the time. That building, they felt, it's a new employee, that it was not part of the square. So it
Oh,
was more of a, where's the boundaries to the historic district? If the city can make one, I'm working on one, but it needs to be tweaked. So the staff person can say, there's the building, give me the address, look up the building and say that is in the historic district.
so it was the city messed up.
I don't want to say it was a mess up, it was just not clear information,
It was some confusion with the city.
confusion. And of course,
Because it is part of the historic district.
yeah, it's just a little bit outside the square
There
itself.
are other buildings that are part of the historic district that are not directly on the square.
And they may get confused again. So what I'm going to do is get actual addresses of every building that they can cross-reference. And
Okay.
hopefully they'll open it.
Because when I did talk to her, she said it was approved. It was her understanding it was approved. I said, well, we didn't have a meeting,
I did that out, yeah.
you know, so I don't know how it was approved. So I don't,
She wasn't talking about COA, she was talking about the permit was approved
okay,
For the landscaping.
for
Or
the
for-
sign,
for the sign.
which was a replacement anyway. It was already there prior.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't have a sign out in the front yard.
She sent photos, I sent it
They
to you
had
guys.
the vintage cottage on, but not
Not
in
in
that
that-
location.
Yeah, that's what
Not
I'm
in
talking
that
about.
location.
Mhm.
Like, she changed the location of the sign.
Mhm.
She
But
changed
she
it
did-
drastically, because she's
No.
done photos.
No, it was not drastically, but this new sign is a bigger sign.
Yeah, 5x5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bigger sign than what she had
Yeah, so
before.
can I continue to report, because there's another sign with them. It
Okay.
needs to get approved. So, let's see here.
We need to approve that?
Yeah, I'm gonna read it right now. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to install that 60 by 60 sign. In addition, she wants one permanent round sign that will replace the banner that's up there right now. So I took the calculations and she can install like a 2.5 by 2.5 round that equals to 6.25 plus the 25 they had already. That keeps under the allotted size. And this is when I met with her, with Gina West. She pointed out the location of the new sign with the 2 metal pipes embedded with concrete on the lawn. According to Gina West, the new sign is 5 by 5, 25 square feet. It was installed in the same location as the old one. They will remove the temporary wall banner at the front roof gable with a permanent sign, 2.5 by 2.5, that reflects the new logo. She also mentioned that they were confused since a permit was provided to continue. The visit I made was on June the 14th, about 4:30 p.m. before she closed at 5 o'clock. It was the day after Lavender's Day.
Yeah.
This is my recommendation. Based on the rules of the City of Blanco, the Commissioner of the Historic Preservation Commissioners or the staff of the City of Blanco should consider approving certificate of appropriateness as requested by the applicant, as it does conform to fact finding 1 through 4, and everybody should have that. This is for the 5 by 5 sign. And the ordinance is 26.702 when you take the measurements to stay under 32 square feet, which their new signs would be 31.25. So they're just right under. So that is my report.
So you make the recommendation, we approve the sign.
The sign that's there and the future sign that's going on the gate.
Have they turned in COA for the future sign?
No, which will require an additional sign permit.
So-
The building sign.
Okay, so right now we're looking at approving the existing sign and they have not submitted the COA for the additional sign?
No,
Okay,
she's going to piggyback with my paperwork. So if you want to approve this, all she needs to do is get a building permit for the additional sign. Because how do they charge for signs when you get a permit anyway? Per square foot or?
Yes.
Okay, so it's based on square foot
So we just need to approve the COA
as read.
as read.
And then they won't have to submit another COA?
No, just piggyback to my report.
Okay.
So when I just need to know.
Yeah, 'cause he's the-
Hope to know so that she can, issue a permit or not.
Nothing you related to, you want to
Mhm.
convey that
Yes,
to
I-
her, a
yes.
new permit for the additional sign.
Okay.
That'll make it easy. Yeah, yeah, I have that. Yeah, that's on chapter 4 of the old UDC. Yeah, the new UDC doesn't have all this. Do you have this, Roxanne?
I don't think I do.
Okay.
I have the map.
Okay.
So what I'll do is update all those addresses.
Do you want to make,
Oh, that's
you
no
make a
copy.
motion?
Can we make a copy? Can we make a copy of that?
As recommended.
I can send you a copy. I
I
have
make
the
a
old
motion to approve as recommended.
Candy
All right,
wants that
Hollis
back.
makes a motion to approve as recommended.
We're out of ink and that.
Are we out of ink?
In fact, I ran a bunch of these today, you didn't do and they're stuck in there.
Wendy seconds.
He's gonna make a copy.
Did he get the one that you had too? He did?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Hollis's motion to approve. Wendy has seconded. What are our votes?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, happy. So our next item was going to be the paint guidelines,
skip
but
that.
we've
Let's skip
discussed
that.
that at length. So we'll move on to number 3, explanation of new complaint process and how it works.
I actually didn't work on that because
All right,
last time we had the notice of violation and there was no action taken. Did y'all review that?
Mm-hmm.
So since there's no action, what I'm developing is paperwork that the city doesn't have, that the UDC alludes to, but then there's no applications. Like the COA got refined and refined. I look at all the big cities and all the small cities, take it to the state that it's appropriate in their guidelines. And if it is, take it to you guys and we take it to city council. I'm going to show this too.
Okay, let's get this one.
That has not been approved yet, Candy. That's just a sample. Take a look at it. And I'll take your input whenever you have time.
so we have to go back to item number 2, which I skipped
What is that?
accidentally.
What is that?
Okay.
This is important.
Number 2. Roll call.
Review BHPC commissioner applications
Oh,
and
there you go.
select new commissioners by chair. Before we address this item, if it's okay with all of you, I don't have it in the agenda, but I do have one chairman resignation that I can read to you all.
Yeah.
That I guess we could include under our announcements. So, from Pam Neighbors. Historical Committee, I wish to inform you that I will be resigning from the Blanco Historical Commission. I do not feel I'm contributing to the committee and wish for you to find someone else that will benefit this committee more than I will. I apologize for any inconvenience that I have caused. My calling is to help people, and that is what I will continue to do. I wish you great success in all your endeavors to help Blanco protect its history. If you need assistance with the project, I would love to help with that in the future. God's blessing. Please know that you are loved and appreciated. Pamela Neighbors.
Okay,
All
so
right.
do we need a motion to accept her resignation?
You want to get one?
Do I have a motion to accept Ms. Neighbors' resignation?
I make the motion.
Okay,
I second.
all right. So Hollis motioned, Pam Cap second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right. Motion to accept Pam's resignation has been accepted or passed. There we go. So,
Oh,
so we have at least one commissioner spot
Here, I'm gonna give this back to you. There's extra.
And we have room for advisors as well. Let me see what I've got for you all here. I've had everybody's, oh, Paula's has it.
I
All right,
have,
I had everybody's applications, and
they're all right here.
we can,
But I just wrote the names down. Billie Jean, David Spencer, and Gail McClellan are the ones that want to be on the commission.
on the commission.
And then Jonelle Haas wants to be an advisor,
Okay.
is what
We have
they're all.
Billie Jean is present
And
and
Gail.
Gail is present. Mr. Spencer is not here and I haven't heard from him since the workshop. His issue was that he was very, very new to town, like moved here in March or something. So,
And Joanne wasn't able to make it tonight
Yeah, she's,
for personal reasons.
yeah. Well, I think Billie Jean and Gail and Jonelle are all excellent people. You know, I think. But I reached out to Billie Jean and we only have one person
Mhm.
for the commission. So Gail, don't get mad at me, but I make a motion that
I was like,
we
yeah, you're off
accept
the hook.
Billie Jean Cutzer as our new commissioner.
We need to vote on each one individually.
Mhm.
Huh?
We need to vote on each one individually because it's not a matter of who is here. Everyone is up again. Nobody's ahead.
Okay, so what do you mean? I don't understand what you're
Well, I
asking
understand.
me.
Did you say that Jim was not here, so
No,
We're
there's a
just- we're
David
just-
Spencer that applied to be a commissioner.
who?
David Spencer,
Oh,
I don't know who that is.
We're recommending Billie Jean
Yes, that's what I'm,
and we're going to vote on her being accepted. Is that,
you're supposed to,
and we might have another spot opening up soon.
but tonight you're supposed to pick 6.
we have to pick the people on the commission, everybody that's already here.
Each one has to be voted for again to be reappointed again
Okay,
in here.
okay, now can I ask you something else?
oh, there's Connie.
Can we,
Are we
You don't just go.
reapproving our advisors as well?
You don't
So,
just go-
you-
You don't just go from term to term. You have to be reappointed in here for each one of them.
well, don't we have? to
Are we
appoint-
reapproving our advisors as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
But
don't
I'm
we,
the advisor that's on there, so you're reappointed, you're going to reappoint, to recommend I'm reappointed. And I'm not an advisor, you're recommending that they're appointed because there's room for them. Okay, but each one of you has to be.
so how do we vote for ourselves? How do we do that?
I don't know. How do you get this? Hang on a second. Each, well, I guess you just vote. for yourself.
I thought the city,
No, you vote in here first.
okay,
You vote in here and whoever you vote for, 6 in here, whether it's those 2 and 4 of y'all, or whether it's 6 of y'all, or whatever. Then you vote in here and then you take it to the city and you recommend these 6 that you've selected. You don't just automatically go on again.
well, we know that, we know it has to go to the city, but right now,
Tonight?
we're recommending one new commissioner.
But you have.
And then we have to do that first though, so we have a full commission.
You have to recommend her, you have to recommend her.
Okay,
you have to recommend her, and vote on it. Here,
Okay,
come on.
okay.
And those 2.
Well, we can't vote for 2 of them because there's only one. There's only
Oh,
one spot.
Vote, and if whoever-
are you trying to have us not reconfirm somebody?
No, you vote on if you don't vote on Gal, then she doesn't get it.
Okay,
Okay, it would be Billie Jean, and then would you vote?
Okay,
Fine.
all right.
well, if
Okay.
we're doing that, the problem is that we won't have a quorum because, well, for people, you vote for yourselves. All right, let's just,
So
Let's
what
go
we'd like to
through.
recommend Billie Jean to the commission.
I would like to recommend Billie Jean to the commission.
You're making a motion to recommend her
Yes. Yes.
to fill the vacancy of Pam Neighbors.
all right, Hollis has made
I
that
second
motion.
that.
Pam seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Passes.
We thank Gail for her application.
And-
No problem.
and-
I'm still in charge of the cemetery.
I knew you had your hands
Because we
full.
want on it anyway, so.
Well, I'd be glad to serve. I think old timers should be the ones who serve on the historical committee. And because of that, I'd be glad to serve. But I am serving with the cemetery. But that's why I was willing to put my application in.
Amen.
And it wouldn't surprise me if we had turnover in the next couple of months.
But my question is, I remember sitting in that city council years ago, and there's so much confusion over voting everybody back in because there's no historical carryover, you know? Like if all of you are out of office at the same time, then who's gonna remember what y'all talked about last time?
Yeah.
But I think they finally decided that it's just the easiest way to do it. But I was told that any applicant was to be voted on as far as their, suitability maybe, you know, as far as their credentials went. And that the city council y'all would recommend the people. And I mean, honestly, I think that this is very important. But you can ask Candy, we were all day in the cemetery dealing with a historical question. And the historical, cause now the cemetery is under the historical commission. And we spent 5 hours out from 10 till 2:30 out there debating a historical question because it's a historical cemetery. And it's a.
Yeah.
Candy's gonna research it, and then we've got a couple of people, but they were very belligerent and, you know.
Are you talking about the Texas Historical Commission?
Yes, yes. Because a few years ago, y'all, oh, they weren't belligerent. Oh, no.
Okay. So what's next? Okay, Roxanne?
So we have to
So we're gonna go through person by person and.
see if we
and
want to
I
be
guess-
on it.
I guess vote to reconfirm. So, I mean, I'll go in order. Roxanne Sorrell. If anybody would like to make a motion to keep me on, you may do that.
I make a motion to keep Roxanne Sorrell on as chair.
I second.
You vote on your officers after you come back in July, then you select.
So just the people who wants to be on the commission.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so Pam Capps has recommended that I
Stay on the
continue to be a
commission.
commissioner.
Mhm.
And is there a second? Did Hollis second? Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes, okay. Hollis,
Yes.
vote right?
I would like to stay on.
All right. Can we have a motion to keep Hollis on as a chairperson or as a commissioner?
Commissioner.
Wendy? Okay, so Wendy has motioned. And.
I second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Hollis, you're staying with us. Pam Capps. Do I hear a motion to,
I make the motion that
to-
Pamela Capps stay on.
okay. Wendy seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, passes. We've got Jim Bunty. Do we have a motion to keep Jim on as a commissioner?
Does he want to stay on?
Good question.
Because we,
but he'll let us know.
Okay.
so should we table that vote?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do we do? Because there's 5 commissioners.
We put him in and then if he wants to
Yeah.
resign, he does.
He can resign
Yeah.
because he's already on the commission.
Unless we.
Yeah.
He's been quite a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has, and he owns our website.
He owns.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he's.
He created it.
He
Acquired it.
created it. Yeah, just go ahead and just write him down. Let's not.
All right, so do we want to go ahead and confirm him for now and then
Yeah.
see what happens?
Yeah, just.
All right,
confirm
so
it.
who wants to motion to confirm him? All right,
Yeah, second.
hold a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was gonna say we might be, but we might make it one day if it's technology and marketing.
Yeah.
And he could be chair of that committee.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to.
He'd be on here.
It's a really good.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a great
point.
idea.
Mhm.
Because he's really good at that.
Yeah.
So I have a question based on.
No, Wendy,
do you?
Wendy, I make a motion to, we keep Wendy with Cambridge as a commissioner.
Well, Pam Hollis, she made out a point, and y'all need to answer this. So all sales terms gonna end at the same time, or y'all gonna alternate?
That's up to the city. That's not up to us.
It's written now in the UDC that it all happens at the same time.
That's not,
Same time.
it's,
Same-
yeah, that's not up to us.
It did about 3 years ago,
It's not 17.
since 17, yeah.
I wasn't-
It doesn't say right anymore.
Does it?
I wasn't-
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's not it.
Yeah, but that's up to the city. That's not us.
PUC and this are the same. And again, if somebody is not here to be voted on, it's not turning in, if they want to be voted on, then you need to vote on somebody else.
The commission can decide who they want to be on the commission and take it to council. Only council can approve or remove. Or they can.
Have they applied?
All right, so do I hear a motion to reconfirm Wendy as a commissioner?
I make the motion.
Hollis motion,
I think Wendy.
Pam second. All in favor?
Aye. Yeah.
All right. All right, so that was our last action item. Oh, wait, well, do we need to look at our advisors. So,
Jonelle needs to be on.
yeah, so do we have a
I make a
motion
motion.
to,
Yeah, put her as an advisor.
all right,
I'm gonna ask the advisors, job description.
Well, I don't know.
I recall seeing it in the UDC and it gives a very brief explanation of what,
I think they just help with like projects, maybe.
and have the institutional knowledge. Generally, our advisors are generally going to be people that are
Knowledgeable.
knowledgeable long-term residents. But that's in the 411, I don't know the exact wording.
Greta, do you know?
But
Do you know what the job description of an advisor is?
advisor, historian,
Yeah,
it's just that it doesn't have a job description. It's just, somebody said, well, it's people only, but it's not people only because the buildings are history too, or the neighborhood's history too. So it's whatever needs to be advisory.
and like you help with projects and just knowledge, your knowledge of the
Something
code.
comes up in here, you know,
Okay, that's what I thought.
like not in the voting.
Okay.
So Hollis had motioned to confirm Jonelle Haas as an
Jonelle.
advisor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Wendy seconds, all in favor? All right. We will recommend Janelle as an advisor for our council members. Do we
Oh.
need to reconfirm our other
Mhm.
advisors?
I think
Yeah, right.
Retta,
Retta and Mr. Gosnell, and is
Yeah.
Twilly?
Wayne Gosnell and Retta.
not 12.
No, well, he was on the,
He was
Yeah.
on it before.
Yeah.
So
Who's
we,
Gosnell and Retta?
yeah,
There's room for 2 more.
yeah.
Do we have 2 more?
Gail, are you interested in that?
Do you want to be an advisor?
Well, not exactly sure I'm qualified to be, but if you need to fill a spot, I'll fill a spot. I mean, and rather than fill that, I have to do the shade right here.
And Patty should be able to.
It says, these advisors, historians shall serve in a non-voting capacity for 2 years. These are preferred representatives with long-term term. An architect, planner, representative of a design profession, a historian, a licensed real estate broker, an attorney, an owner of a landmark property, a member of the Blanco Historical Commission, an archaeologist or related discipline. That's what it says.
Well, we've got,
It doesn't say anything more about advisors.
No, it really doesn't. It just says that
so we've got 3 right now.
Got 3, who's up to now?
Wayne, you and Jonelle.
Oh, Wayne?
I thought Wayne Gosnell was on an advisor.
He's not this kind of advisor. Wayne is an advisor just for the nice guys.
That's nice.
He's not,
Oh,
he's not.
but he's listed as one of our advisors. So should we remove him?
No.
Or give them
He's advisor for nice guys,
If he's listed as an advisor, let's just
or nice guys.
re-up and,
Like,
re-up
we
him.
have the parks, music in the parks.
Yeah.
Music in the parks. He was, Jack Twilliams was advisor for music in the parks, but that wasn't an advisor for the long-term historian. For, like I do, like a postmark, and they come down or.
these are not.
So,
Well,
really-
they not really on the
Huh?
website, this
No,
confusing. Oh, reading that.
Mhm.
Is it like that?
Yeah.
So who do we actually need to reconfirm? Just Retta?
Just right.
I'll do that in my spare time.
I make a motion to reconfirm Retta as our advisor. Retta Martin.
Is there a second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
2 advisors.
Yes. All right,
I don't like some of these historic colors. These are not very pretty.
Well, you can pick out several colors and colors.
we can go ahead and move on to our announcements. Was there a new violation notice form that you wanted to go over with us, Rudy?
It's just for you guys to take a look, no action taken. Candy has mine, if anybody needs one, give me your, you can have it, give me your email address. And that's been from some of the discussions in the past. What do we do? Send Woody up there, send Will up there, tell the police. There has to be first paperwork. So that's what that form is. Instead of calling all the neighbors and all the media, why don't we take that one step? Because there are some violations out there.
Okay, why don't, I thought we discussed this at the last meeting that if there is violations out there, you need to come let us know what those are and then we can discuss them and then you can, you know,
We don't have a protocol.
okay,
You don't like the night knock down the garage, and I live in the district. Instead of contacting me, maybe I live in Timbuktu. You could put in a notice, knock down the garage.
so it's a generic letter.
Yeah, then you give it to the city says, well, this goes to, not we, but Will. Or this goes to the cops, because there's some drug activity taking place. See, there has to be a category. I asked the city last Monday if they could help me, not you guys, me, to build a protocol. that formative step one hasn't been approved by anyone.
Well, don't we need a protocol before?
Exactly, that's what I asked for, they're gonna work on it.
Oh, okay. Before we approve this?
Not yet, look over it.
Well, I need you to send it to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we send it to all commissioners.
I always go by this with the Chinese that said, the journey to 1,000 miles starts with step one. We are at the.
Step
beginning of
one.
We're not even in the threshold.
Okay,
If we jump on stuff, emotions get in,
right.
I don't think straight, I go do the wrong stuff, let's start a paper trail. Because maybe there's not a violation,
Yeah.
and I know that there are violations, and everybody knows there are violations.
Okay,
But then the community itself has to protect itself too,
okay,
okay, rather than hearsay.
okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like, and I'll give an example, and they said a good example, the church behind Greta's home
Yes,
had sent 2 letters. One was for Mr.
the
Coffey.
banners. Oh,
Yeah, Mr. Coffey, because we were having the final finale, whatever I call it, grand finale. There was trees and my wife and I went out there 3 days to cut the trees, whatever I had said.
Yeah.
Here I am, I'll cut it. We cut it, took the wood home, and we burned it, okay? So, but he mowed the grass. The people behind Greta, the church, I said, you have a feather banner? And I showed them, I think they're, by the way, we're doing a May, restoration month. They took it off at the same minute. That's all we want. We don't need to make legalities and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Just cooperate and we all need to be good neighbors. That's
Just
all.
something generic that you have a paper trail
Yeah,
for.
because what if I put one and I'm at wrong?
Right.
Then
A lot of
I
people-
recommend will of the city, really definitely wrong. It's not what I say, it's what we locate. on-
Yeah.
on-
And a lot of people don't even know they're doing anything wrong, but when you ask them,
And
you
again,
know.
I don't know what kind of church that was, but, and I, I want to thank them that they immediately removed that.
but maybe we could call it something besides a violation
No,
letter,
it's a no other
something.
violation, that's
That's
a
a
notice.
notice of violation, so as a general rule, is the way we've practiced in the past. Notice of violation goes to someone who is non-responsive. So first off, you always try to make at least a phone call communication, or try to catch them, try to talk to them, make an appointment, talk about their issue, try to, hopefully they comply and are willing, just misunderstood the rules or whatever. But if they refuse to talk to you and you've tried everything, then you can send them a notice of violation. And that's just a notice that you are in violation. That is not,
Anything.
Not a ticket, yeah.
that is not a citation of violation. That is just a notice of violation to make you aware. And it also creates a record that we have made notice that this person's been a consistent problem, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Then, before anything else happens, that's when the PD would get involved to actually do the citations. But hopefully after at the very least, 99.9% of the time, a notice of violation is enough to get somebody to then communicate, and y'all can work through it, and it can all be resolved, and everybody goes away somewhat happy.
But how are we gonna know, are we as a commission gonna know of these violations, or y'all just gonna go do
No,
them?
I think, no, I'll put together the SOP tomorrow for that. But as always, anything before sending out anything in writing should come to the commission first, and the commission should be aware of it. Number one, no issue with Rudy driving by and seeing a feather banner at a place and saying, hey, guys, y'all can't do that. Or it's no different than I do. But if there is an issue that needs to have a notice of violation put in writing, that should come before the commission at the very least, so the commission is aware that, hey, your neighbor is in violation and she's going to be calling you because she knows you're on the historic commission, and who is this Rudy guy? Everybody should be aware of it and on the same page.
I agree with all that.
And in his report, I'm sure he would tell you that, hey, I've tried talking to these people, and it's really bad. I get a lot of complaints on it, and the commission now is completely up to speed as to what the issue is,
Okay,
and can be in support of it.
I think,
So my only request would be, Rudy, if that should occur, that you identify the date and time each one of those communications occurred.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
what I plan to do, Roxanne, with you guys, is I'm gonna take all the buildings in the square. And I'm gonna find all the problems that there is. Write it down and let you guys,
Go through it and look.
yeah, oh, yeah, a package like this. And it might be minor stuff. Okay? And
And I support writing down even the minor stuff, because minor things lead to bigger things. Let's make the commission aware of everything now, and the commission can determine what they want to act on today.
so y'all will have everything. And some of it may apply to the city. We'll give it to the city, I'm just gonna say the city. For instance, like the post on the far south, it's dropped down by originally 2 inches. There's something wrong with the footing. I was in the back today, the paint because of the sun is dilapidated again. You know, scratch it, give it.
The sidewalk out here.
Yeah.
About the porch.
So it applies to the city too. I've asked whether the building in the back is falling, not falling apart, but it's decaying, put a good paint. Is it a violation? It's not a violation, it's more of a maintenance issue before demolition by neglect.
Okay.
Okay, 2 foundations and fuels and work. The post office, I believe it was built in 75. The 2 front corners facing this way have dropped or gone up, and the brick's gonna fall. You see it? I mean, because yeah, in being construction, that's the only reason I know. The pottery center, all the boulders in the bottom that's part of the wall are falling out. You know, how hard is it to get them? Maintenance guy, stack a bit in there, back in there, put some mortar and walk away. You know, it's
Okay.
minor stuff
Minor
before it
stuff.
becomes demolition.
Okay. Okay.
And then you say, well, where were you guys? I thought that was his job. One more example. If they put that sandwich sign up there in the corner, the sidewalk's only so much, and an 88-year-old lady walks in there and she falls in the street because of the sandwich sign, and they're gonna come, what did you do?
A
Did you
sandwich
talk to them?
sign?
No,
Oh, you mean those folding?
Well, you're
signs?
talking about obstructing the walkway. Is the sign that's the problem, or is it the fact that it's an obstruction?
It's an obstruction sign that I think it stopped after the Lavender days. But let's get back to the point. If there's a sign there, and I know that it's gonna cause an accident. Again, an 88-year-old lady falls in the highway, 18-wheeler runs over. They're gonna come back at us and say, what did y'all do?
Now, they're gonna go to the property owner.
Exactly.
say-
But I've done a lot of court cases, and thank God that I've never lost it. I've always wanted to defend it other contractors, but what the Lord always say, what did you do? Did you put barriers? Did you put the yellow tape? They go down the list. The more protection you have, the more vindicated you are.
Question, are you looking for historical district violations or safety hazards, things like?
All of the above.
But we will only deal with historical.
That's up to you guys.
Yeah, the historical stuff. Yeah, the historical stuff.
But signage is on the UDC for the historic preservation, so why would we not be concerned for signs?
You would.
We would. We would.
So anything on the UDC design guidelines, then it falls on that umbrella, to give you an answer. We don't choose it. Again, if I'm over aggressive, I'm sure you guys, or will, or someone say,
Back off.
back off on that. Yeah.
Okay. As long as we have a say in it, I think everything will be good.
It's, you know, the coast, it's always about health, safety, but, there's one,
Welfare.
welfare, is probably one. It's not about, let's go ham and guys, put them away.
Yeah.
It's never about that.
Now, we want to be.
I wouldn't be part of that if it was that hard.
Okay.
All right. So Rudy's gonna send us the form that he's working on.
Yeah.
We'll review that. Item number 2 under announcements is a recap of the grand finale of the local National Historic Preservation Month, Monday, May 31st at 10 a.m. at the Pioneer Museum at 418 Pecan Street. And to start considering other ideas for next year. So there's not going to be any action. I know I saw several of you at the Pioneer Museum on Memorial Day, and Rudy gave out some recognitions to some of our business owners or operators who have tried very hard to work with the commission to suitably maintain in their properties. Wendy was there.
No, I was in Temple.
Right.
Retta was there.
I wasn't in
That was
Temple.
about 35 people.
Yeah, that's, my husband was in the hospital.
Let me do Facebook pictures.
I don't want any pictures of me on there.
Okay, I can.
But yeah, we did have a nice little group. I don't know, do we want to start discussing next year or just work on that when the time comes?
Work on that when the
Budget
time
is
comes.
important and it's coming up.
Just think about it.
Okay, so we want to try to maybe get some promotional money or
To
something.
get some stuff to give away.
No.
Or signage and whatever things we can kick off during that specific month, I think.
The budget that I'm talking about.
Is in June.
Annual budget is to be turned in July, August. It has to be filed by September 30th, so you need to have your stuff in by, say, January 5th. So if y'all want to start thinking about, I had last year $1,500 for printing, postage, and stuff like that. Pretty decent. But doesn't mean you cannot reapply. And I will send you all the budget that I have.
Okay,
It was aggressive. You can always reduce it.
okay. Yeah, maybe put that on the agenda for the next month.
Right, because we'll want to decide if we're going to apply for any of these large grants because we'll want to, that's going to be big ticket items. So item number 3 is our budget. Should that include capital infrastructure cost of the gateways?
No,
But
well, yeah, because we haven't paid, but
not for a nice one.
not for a nice one. I think that should be our,
So should we try to get hot funds for that?
Submit it, and we'll see what we can get for it, but, again, keep your operating budget separate from
from,
your wish list.
Okay.
Do we have a final tally for each gateway cost?
no.
No, because we've changed the materials into something more substantial.
Long-term sustaining. Should you request bids out from the general? Well,
Yes.
I think that's what the city would come in and maybe we'll, doesn't mean you're gonna hire them, but it gives you an idea.
Of what it would cost.
Yeah. Maybe with some type of specs.
Well, and we can maybe figure out who has done some of the nicer signs for some of the neighborhoods and gated communities.
Yeah.
You know,
I
like
think-
Cielo Springs has a nice sign, and so
Yeah.
does the Landing, and they all have nice stone
Yeah,
signs. So that is item number 3 on our announcements, and that's not an action item.
ready to adjourn.
All right. Y'all let me know about our next agenda on the 26th and
26th of July.
26th of July.
Okay, I will be living in Temple for a month. I will not be here back to town till August 18th.
Okay.
Is that gonna affect the quorum?
Not since.
No, because we
No,
just
because we have a
voted.
new commissioner.
Yeah, we just got a new commissioner.
You're out until when?
I go July 11th and I won't be back till August 18th.
Okay.
I know, but what do you want me to say? About a meeting?
Let's make a motion to.
Were there any more comments or Anything?
There's going to be a streetscape committee meeting on Wednesday at 1 PM at the courthouse, if anybody would like to attend. The streetscape committee will be reviewing the RFQs, the submissions on that day
At what time?
at 1 PM at the courthouse, Old Blanco Courthouse,
Upstairs?
upstairs.
All right, so the Streetscape Committee is having a meeting at 1 PM this upcoming Wednesday.
Correct.
All right, so
Just for
Everybody knows?
FYI.
And we'll be reviewing those. We got 2 RFQs in.
We got 2 submissions for urban planning.
okay. I would like to be there, but I can't be. I have a work
Tomorrow, the walkthrough.
obligation. Tomorrow is
What is
the,
The workshop
the
at
workshop.
Gem of the Hills at 3 PM.
I think the tour is at 3 and I think the
Yes.
meeting is at maybe
At
4,
4.
4:30 at Gym of the Hills.
What is this?
It's a workshop for just kind of an overview. Yes, Hill Country Alliance is sponsoring it.
I probably won't be.
Or
there.
It's
hosting it.
information, I believe.
It's,
Well, and
discussing
it's
urban planning.
it's
I know.
urban
you're
planning
right.
and-
Are you gonna be gone?
Well, no, that's when I do Roy's feeding tube is
Oh,
at 3
yeah.
o'clock.
All right,
Well, this will be at 4.
I might need to be able-
all right. So Wendy motions that we adjourn.
I didn't sign up.
I know, but I'll.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
All right. Pam Caps motions that, or seconds the motion. All in favor?
Bye.
All right, motion passes.
Okay, so send
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Candy, I
you.
want you to